I'd also suggest streaming it on site so you don't watch it alone. Because I have three MILFs waiting to talk to me about the game after. So I don't know, they weren't interested in talking about football, man. I don't know why.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Ball Boys, episode 4 this week. We are back on regular scheduling where we're talking about Premier League fixtures. Potentially going to be recording our episode 5 prematurely with doing a roundup of Champions League. So today we're just going to go over all the Premier League fixtures as quickly as we can because Alex is being like a little scrub and want to go watch some games. So
I call it doing my research.
I call it supporting the wrong team. First game of the game week, Man United 4, Newcastle 1.
Bruno Fernandes!
Boy, Newcastle's bad.
Yeah, we got a bit bored.
I don't know, it was very negative.
It was negative, but
it did
Newcastle.
help that, I mean, to be fair, you're going to score 3 past a man who literally only had one leg by the end of the game, because I think Cardona did something to his leg.
I think Juan Mata deserves appreciation. He plays near intelligent players as well. He really thrives on that. He might not have the speed and the technical ability he used to have when he was at Chelsea, or even when he first joined United, but he has very intelligent players next to him, such as Bruno Fernandes and Donny van de Beek. And obviously when that change happened, you really saw the interchange and interplay really start to flow with United, and the counter-attacking and the changer from obviously attack to defence was absolutely brilliant. Rashford got 2 assists and a goal, so I think he shut the hate up for a week. And obviously Maguire, with everything going on, it's nice to see him get a goal. Luke Shaw, again, bit of a problem. I don't think scoring an own goal, while it was unfortunate and it could have been saved by David Hay, I don't think scoring an own goal when you've got a proper serious left-back now as your competition is any way intelligent or helps your case.
Definitely not.
But in all seriousness, I did feel bad for Newcastle because I just didn't think they played well at all. They did sit back once they got that first goal, which wasn't even scored by them. And at the end of it, that's that kind of football. You get the results you get by the way you play. If you want to play negative, you end up going to get negative results half the time. So it's on them. I just think United did all right.
Yeah, all credit to Man United. I think this game was always going to be a game that's just going to boost your goal difference for the season because I don't think Newcastle are in the position to be beating Man United at all. I think if the takeover went through at the beginning of the season, maybe they would have stood a chance. But even then, with like financial fair play being involved and everything, Newcastle still couldn't spend that amount of money. Newcastle, I still believe they're going to stay up. I don't think they're the worst of the worst. I think they're definitely at least 4th worst team in the league. So I think they're going to stay up.
Can I ask why Joel Linton was played as a wide midfielder?
Because Steve Bruce doesn't know what he's doing and is clearly smoking crack.
Hey, Steve Bruce plays spin that
Clearly
with your player position.
He's a championship manager.
I think that's why Newcastle fans were very surprised when he originally took over. But this game did a lot for Marcus Rashford's confidence. Goal and 2 assists. He's been out of the goal tally for a while, hasn't he? So he's very injury prone nowadays.
This is a weird one because we've got Telles and Shaw starting against PSG as well as Aaron Wan-Bissaka. So I feel like we're going to play 3 at the back against PSG. I expect that to be suicide. What's the next game?
Manchester City 1, Arsenal 0.
Oh, did anybody find that boring?
Yeah, it was boring.
Oh, it was just boring, man. Mikel Arteta, right? If you gave him if you shaved his head and gave him a hat, he'll be Tony Pulis.
I have to say, yeah, this is as much as it's like, I think if you're Arsenal and you lose 1-0 to Manchester City, arguably one of the greatest teams there's ever been in the English Premier League, and you only lose 1-0, it's okay. Like, you could live with that. But when you look at the performance, if you take the score out of the equation and you just look at how Arsenal performed, if you had to guess the score, you'd guess that Man City won 6-0 because Arsenal were ridiculously poor.
It was just boring. It was boring. It's that football that Arsenal fans love to criticise, because at least when they were having the bad results, they're still playing decent football with Arsene Wenger. I don't know why they got it in their heads that they think Arteta's the second coming of Pep. I will say one thing. I thought 2 things, actually. One, that Phil Foden was unlucky not to score the goal that Sterling ended up finishing.
Yeah.
2, Henderson did end up saving Man City quite a lot with that Saka chance. I thought Saka was unlucky again not to finish that. And that could have tied the results differently. I did think Aubameyang, since he signed his contract, has been a bit hit and miss. He hasn't hit more than he's missed, is what I'm trying to say. I feel like since he signed his contract, he's been a bit naff.
I think this might be a long shot, but I think this could be another Mesut Ozil situation, because when before Ozil signed his new contract, he was brilliant. He played so well, and then his new contract, he started earning so much money that it was very much like, I don't have to perform too much because I know that I've got the rest of my career sorted in this club. I'm not playing for. I'm not like putting a show on for potential suitors because I can stay at this club like for the rest.
He didn't care, and it was clear.
Which is what Ozil did. Yeah, he didn't care. He was very much like, I don't need to perform. I don't like Arsenal. They don't like me, but I know no one can afford me. So I'm just going to sit down, get paid, and that's it.
The things he did for the what was it called, Gunnosaurus though? I thought that was pretty cool. Offering to sacrifice his wage to keep him on, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Credit. And he left in the end, didn't he? So.
Yeah, they still got rid of him.
Yeah.
They still got rid of him, which I thought was unfair, but
probably a slap in the face to Ozil.
What a club.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You just wouldn't. It's just not normal for anyone to do it, really.
No.
Weird to do that to your mascot.
Terrible owners.
I think Guardiola's struggling with fitness, and it's clear with De Bruyne being injured, he doesn't have that creativity that he normally would have. I mean, he does have the players such as Bernardo Silva and so on, to Mahrez and such to sort of thrive on. But Aguero being substituted was pretty telling as well. There used to be a time in Man City where if Aguero was untouchable no matter how bad he played. And I think Age is finally catching up to him because he's not exactly hitting the strides he used to hit.
The issue with Manchester City at the moment is, if you're a good manager and teams in the league with you figure out the way that you play and they can oppose it in a very good way, it takes a good manager to take a step back and rethink the tactics rather than blindly keeping the same tactics as you go on.
Yeah.
I think what Pep has done throughout most of his career, I think the reason why he has is because when he was in the Spanish league and when he was in the German league, there wasn't many teams that could rival them in terms of quality. But coming to the Premier League and a team like Manchester City, where they are far superior, or at least were until Liverpool came into the picture as well. I think he's surprised that there's teams lower down the table that can deal with the sort of football that he does play, and I think it's thrown him off a bit. And it's very much a situation where I think he will leave eventually, and it's going to put a sour taste in his mouth, where he's not leaving on such good terms as when he did in the German league or the Spanish league. It's definitely going to be a sour end to his career in England, in my opinion. But yeah, I think this game just epitomised that Man City's attack just kind of feels like a blunt sword at the moment.
Yeah. I think Sterling's one of their thriving forces at the moment. It seems to really be trying to do a lot of the work himself, and Foden seems to be stepping up as well. Yeah. What I like about Foden is he keeps things simple. I said this, I think, in the first episode. But I don't know if it was City was good or Arsenal were just poor.
I think it was just a mixture of City being average and Arsenal being poor, which just turned out to be a very disappointing match. Anyway, next game, which was definitely far from disappointing, was Chelsea 3, Southampton 3.
I don't know. I just feel like Chelsea sort of remind me of Liverpool when Klopp first took over in his first full season before Van Dijk and Alisson, where he had this amazing attack, but the defence was absolute atrocity of a defence, and they were conceding. You guys are winning 4-3 most games, or you're losing. I remember the 3-3 draw with West Brom, and it just reminds me of that, where they've got their such good high attacking talent, but I mean, look at the goal that I think it was to equalise at 2-2, with Zuma basically just giving the ball away.
Che Adams, yeah, that was a atrocious goal. I mean, credit to Adams, he showed much more patience than I think the majority of footballers would in that situation, where he didn't just automatically shoot as soon as he got the ball on his feet. He showed a lot of composure inside the box. But Chelsea defenders have to look at themselves and think, what have we done? That was awful defending. How could you call yourself Premier League players and defend like that?
Yeah, and I'm bet Adam's happy with Ings as well.
Ings just looks on fire again this season.
He's
What
great.
do you think of his goal?
Just great. I thought he was very clever to go round Kepa. Because also, if you just shoot from there, Kepa can save it, but taking it past him, it makes it almost impossible for him to save. It's just clever play from him.
Yeah, I think this is just another example as to why Chelsea need to start Mendy.
Yeah,
Because,
I feel like Frank Lampard's handing Kepa the rope, though, isn't he? Sort of, before dropping him, he's saying, "Here's the last chance.
Last
Come on,
chance.
show me what you
pretty
got."
much, yeah. But like one of the issues that Kepa had was, especially in Che Adams' goal, he was going for a ball that he was never ever going to get, and there was no communication between the goalkeeper and defender. Whereas, rather than one player missing it, but then the keeper's in the position, or the keeper misses it and defenders in the position, they both go for it, tangle in each other, and then they're both screwed. It didn't make much sense. Werner played very, very, very well. He finally showed the Premier League what he can do. And Havertz scoring a pretty easy goal. He still hasn't shown himself yet. I don't think. Kai Havertz.
I mean, if we're going to be honest, Havertz, he was at fault for the Danny Ings goal.
Mm-hmm.
He got closed down too quickly and gave the ball away.
Yeah.
Wanted too much time in the ball.
I think
you don't get that time
first goal in the Premier League. Yeah, well, no, Adam's right. You don't get that time in the Premier League. And I think with Werner's first goal, it kind of showed what happens if you much time in the Premier League, because I'm going to be honest, it was a bit atrocious. The defending from Southampton was a bit of a joke. Mm-hmm. He skipped past 3 of them, but it wasn't like it was skill. It was just like fakies, like he was faking shooting. And Southampton, all 3 of them, their brain just went, yeah. And I was like, come on, guys. Don't get me wrong, the finish was nice. It was a nice little slot in. But again, if we're going to criticise Chelsea's defending, then Southampton should be put on that same pedestal, because it was just as embarrassing.
I do have to say, for Southampton to get a 3-3 draw at Stamford Bridge for a team that finished 9th last season, that's a very good performance, very, very good result. Like you say, they could be better defensively, and if they were better defensively on the day, they might have actually snatched a win. But I think Ralph Hasenhüttl and his team will take a draw at Stamford Bridge. That was a pretty difficult team to play against, especially with how much... I don't know how many people are gazing at what Chelsea are doing this season. How many people genuinely think that because of the injury to Van Dijk, which we'll get onto in the next game, and because of the issues that Manchester City are facing and the defensive issues that Man United potentially have, it's just Chelsea. I think that they're licking their lips at the prospect that everyone else in the league seems to be not at their best. That it could, if they can get their defence right, they could potentially leapfrog all of them and go for the title. I don't personally think it will happen, but we don't know.
No, man, the Showtime Reds, the mighty Reds will win the title.
Anyway, next game, Merseyside derby.
Almighty Cloward.
Honestly, I am absolutely... I can't... It's so difficult to censor my language when speaking about this bloody game, honestly. We've got ruled offside twice in one game for the armpit. For the armpit. Even Mane's arm wasn't even offside. What did they judge off? His bloody elbow.
Now, I actually looked up what the new handball rules, because if it's from here, if this bit is offside, because that is now not a handball, that therefore will become offside, and that is what they are, in theory, saw.
Dude,
I mean, the rule's completely
stupid. Yeah. The rule is
but
dumb.
It's not actually VAR's fault.
Last season, in the entirety of the Premier League, for the entire season, there were 2 goals in the entire campaign scored by the armpit, both of which were deflections, one of which was an own goal. If you can actually think that the armpit is a genuine goal-scoring opportunity, you're thick. Honestly, you're so stupid. The rule is just dumb as it is. But what I'm really, 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 really annoyed about is the Van Dijk injury with what Pickford did. I read something this morning. This is how infuriated I am, and how much I think that this game, I know it's never ever going to happen, but this game 100% should be replayed, because Jordan Pickford, we know when he did the tackle and the VAR referee looked at it and he deemed it offside, therefore he didn't give Pickford the red. It came out in an article this morning. He did an interview after the Merseyside derby, and apparently he didn't know that because Van Dijk was ruled offside that he could give Pickford a red. He had no idea. if you're going to be doing VAR, surely you should know the rules. If you're a qualified referee, you should know the rules. You should know the bloody rules before you start anything. I'm just infuriated. If I saw that guy, I'd slap him in the face.
I want you really badly to post screenshots of the chat during when it happened because it's comedy gold.
I'll probably put them up somewhere on the chat in a minute.
But secondly, in all seriousness, as someone who's as unbiased as I can be, the injury was pretty. Well, it was well on. It was intentional to injure Van Dijk. Like a genius to work it out. I don't like Pickford as a person, let alone a keeper.
Yeah.
I think he always screams arrogant and pretty nasty. He always seems like he's a nasty player. I can't talk too much because Roy Keane did the exact same to Haaland's dad. But there was beef between them. I didn't ever see Van Dijk and Pickford have a problem, and therefore I was confused with the tackle. It did highlight a serious problem at Liverpool, and that is your aerial ability when Van Dijk isn't there. Calvert-Lewin flew past you like it was nothing.
Also, don't take that away from the quality of the header. It was a fantastic header.
No, the header was brilliant. If you're gonna play a player like Cavani, you don't want to mess with him on headers.
No. If you looked at the replay, for Calvert-Lewin's goal, you could see Gomez that was about 2 meters away from Calvert-Lewin. When the ball came in, he just looked behind him, expecting Van Dijk to just head it away.
Yeah, it was a bit upsetting because you did see Gomez ball watch, but you also Robertson got flattened, and those type of headers, man, they'll eat you alive if you don't get it, and that was a problem. I sort of clocked on. The other issue, you didn't play bad. That's the main problem. I think you got robbed, if I'm honest. But
we did get robbed.
I think the build up with the first goal was very, 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 very nice. Very good finish from Mane. And Salah's instincts haven't changed. That second goal was beautiful from Salah.
Wonderful goal.
It was just instinct. It wasn't planned. It was pure instinct, and I like it. I just feel bad for you guys, in all seriousness. I just feel bad because obviously if it was me in that position and someone took out, I guess, Bruno Fernandes in that sense, I'd be fuming.
VAR at the moment is honestly making me lose love for the game.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I think it was a tier 3 ACL injury as well, which means it's completely torn in half.
It's the worst one.
And in all seriousness, all seriousness aside, if we're taking even the rivalry side, very rare do you see any player from any sort of sport come back and be the same they were.
Exactly.
With the exception of one or two, maybe, but it's very rare it happens, and it just feels like it's a really bad way to end your career or even, end the season.
How you can rob Jordan Henderson of that goal in the 92nd minute, how you can do that, especially since it wasn't even offside. It was the smallest of margins, and might I say the no-look pass by Thiago was scrumptious. It was beautiful. What a pass. If that's a side of things to come, I'm so excited. But yeah, how you can rob someone of a goal like that, it's honestly, it's making it seem like you can't celebrate a goal anymore. I think the more goals get taken away from you, especially in situations where they shouldn't be taken away, you get a little bit more reserved, and football kind of loses the passion. I find myself watching matches, my team scores, and I'm just sitting there
you breathe and you wait.
Will it not? And then when it does go through, a minute or 2 minutes later, because that's way too long of a break, I can't celebrate because the moment's gone.
I tell you what, from a tactical point as well, it is the worst feeling going because you give the team enough time to recuperate. Whether that goal's gone in or not, if it's not gone in, they're prepared for you to try again. If it's gone in, they're ready to strike at you again. It used to be a thing of football where if a goal went in, you're back at it. You're back in the halfway line, get ready to kick off, and you're stunned. We used to see teams get overrun really easily. Yeah. Now there's a few minutes waiting. You can hear the manager shouting, get back in your formation, get back to tactics, blah, 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 blah. And those 2 minutes play a really vital role when it comes to football now, and it is insane.
I just hate it because the offside rule was originally brought in, so it takes the advantage away from the striker. So they can't use the amount of space that they have between themselves and the defender as an advantage. So let's say, I don't know, if Mane was 5 yards out, 5 yards offside, fair enough, offside, call it off. But I don't understand how being 0.1 millimeters offside is giving the attacker any sort of advantage in the slightest. I just don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me that, like, the offside rule, I think most rules in football, to be fair, have just been extended to the most farcical of points. Like, how can you genuinely think that being an arm hair offside is giving you any sort of advantage? It's not. It really isn't. I just don't understand. I don't understand in the slightest. VAR, I actually loved football more when I was pissed off about an offside which wasn't given, even though it was completely offside. I love that football more than having football where every single decision is 9 times out of 10 correct. I preferred the old style football. It's not because I don't like VAR. I would love to be in a world where VAR was 100% right, which it should be. But we're never going to get that, because regardless of what we do to improve the game, there's still human error involved. And especially if you employ someone who doesn't even know the rules of football, honestly.
Speaking of Adam, what would your sort like analysis Mane goal? Do you think it's a goal, or do you think it was wrongfully disallowed? Or
it's a goal. It is a goal. I mean, my main taken away from that, because everyone's taking point is the offside, is how bad Pickford's save was. It was an awful attempt at a save, because it's not even a fantastic shot from Henderson.
No. He just put it low where he knows Pickford isn't great at. But, like, if Pickford was sent off, we would have flown that game, because Pickford made at least 3 or 4 very, very good saves. If he wasn't in net, they had, Robin Olsen on the bench. He definitely wouldn't have made those saves. I mean, Joel Matip would have easily scored that header. I just don't understand. Even if the referee in VAR had no idea that Pickford could be sent off, surely Michael Oliver on the field would know that he can. Surely he'd then go check his monitor. Van Dijk's injured on his knee. You don't just get a knee injury if someone's hit your foot, do you? Honestly, it's just ridiculous. I don't understand refereeing in England. I'm not trying to blame Michael Oliver, because it's not his fault. I just think VAR is such a twisted system where the people who are in Stockley Park are 100% right all the time. Like, if whatever they say goes, it shouldn't be like that. They're supposed to be advising the referee, not the other way around.
Yeah.
Well, we're using it wrong. We're straight up using it wrong.
Yeah, 100%. Next game, because I could speak about this game for 10 years. Sheffield United 1, Fulham 1. Now, this
Boring.
was, again, another one. I think the
match.
bottom 4 of the league all played each other this week, and they all drew.
I have no idea what Mitrovic was thinking with that pen in it. Like, it was just embarrassing seeing him push it over, and obviously it goes flying. It was just a bit of a joke of a pen. And then obviously Sheffield came back and scored a pen and showed him how to do it properly.
Billy Sharp, yeah.
I still think Ramsdale's a really bad keeper.
Yeah,
I do. I think he's an atrocity. I think it's such a downgrade. And he's a very, very bad keeper in my opinion.
It is.
I think it's going to cost them.
Yeah. It did show it did show a slight improvement in Fulham, bearing in mind this is their first point of the season. Yes, fair enough. Sheffield United and Fulham have been the worst teams in the league this season, but Ademola Lookman looked pretty good in this particular match. I think he's happy to be back in English football once more, and I think playing in a team like Fulham, where he's going to be the main man alongside Mitrovic, it could help his confidence a lot.
And what a strike it was as well. What a strike. It was
Absolutely.
Raw.
Yeah.
Oh, a nice finish.
Not much else we can speak about that one. Next game, Crystal Palace, Brighton, 1-1.
For a derby, it was a bit...
The most confusing derby.
Yeah.
I feel like Sahar was going down every minute.
He always goes down every minute, regardless of the game.
Nice pen, though, can't lie. Sahar's getting better at finishing penalties.
Yeah, he is.
He hits them quite hard and true.
Well, he's well and truly taken the penalty duties off Ayew.
Yeah, but he deserves them after Ayew's attempt at United.
I don't know what Lewis Dunk was thinking with that red card.
Oh, no. I mean, the captain of Brighton should be leading by example. I don't think
it was intentionally trying to hurt someone. I think.
Oh, no. I think Dunk's got.
No, it weren't intentional, but it was a bad tackle.
Yeah.
It was just poor. It was just poor. Can't dive in with 2 feet. Stud showing.
No, not at all.
Poor. poor from all around. And it ruins the game as well because it was such a nice, not a nice end result because obviously a draw is never what you really want, but it almost felt fair. I mean, obviously for Lewis Dunk, what I suggest as their best player to be out for the next 3 games is just a bit of a waste.
Yeah, especially in the 93rd minute. It doesn't make any sense. Next game,
Absolutely.
Leicester 0, Aston Villa 1.
Wait, Aston Villa are going to win the league, lads.
They're looking brilliant. I mean,
Gonna win the league. Gonna win the league.
Emiliano Martinez has more clean sheets than every top 6 keeper combined.
He's banging it out, man. He's doing sick. Like, I don't know what's going on. I mean, to be fair,
Arsenal made such a mistake selling him.
there was one attempt with, I think it was Barnes, Harvey Barnes, that he done. It was just atrocious, man. He got the ball to his left foot and just smacked it like horribly out over the bar. And then obviously they got punished by an interesting shot from Barkley. I mean, I think it could have been saved. You know, I was a bit disappointed Schmeichel let that go in, but fair credit where credit's due. Aston Villa are playing brilliantly recently.
See, I have a player that I think Aston Villa have evolved, and I think he's also evolved the team. It's not Grealish, it's not Watkins, it's not Trezeguet, it's John McGinn. He looks like the Scottish Pirlo. He's playing that good.
Yeah.
Honestly, he's playing so well. I don't know what happened either, because last season he was doing okay, but it wasn't brilliant. This season he's really, really come into his own, especially with the rest of the team around him performing at the level that they are. It's kind of giving him the lease of life to venture forward, because he knows that the defenders have got it sorted now. I mean, Aston Villa are looking brilliant. They're looking like what Liverpool looked like defensively at the beginning of last season.
Yeah, they're doing really well, and they might even do another Leicester, man. You never know.
It might. I think it will eventually drop off. I think injuries are going to get the better of them eventually. But if they get a stroke of luck where they just don't get injured, it could happen. I do see a battering around the corner. I do see someone coming in and just bringing them straight back down to earth.
Fernandez.
All right, next game. Tottenham 3, West Ham 3. Capitulation at its finest.
What? Wait, I'll go do it on more enthusiasm. Hold up. What a goal!
Lanzini,
man.
Honestly.
Last goal of the season contender. Easy.
Yeah, that has to be. I saw a meme online and it said, like, Spurs bring on Bale. And then David Moyes was like, hold my beer. Lanzini, get on.
Lanzini's OG, man.
Honestly.
It's horrible. Like, Bale was at fault at that goal. Bale was at fault. He horribly miscontrolled that ball.
Also, he missed a very good opportunity to make it 4-2.
I mean, he was nice down there. Don't get me wrong, it was a nice ball, and like he got himself in a nice position. But the finish was...
It was outrageous. Honestly, outrageous.
Prick.
It shows what West Ham have been missing, though, because Lanzini has been like the focal point of their team for a number of years, and he's been missing for a while. So to have him back is going to be a very good prospect for them. And I think West Ham have overperformed in what most people predicted them to do this season. They've done quite well, actually.
They're looking like a threat again, which is not what I want to see at all. I want to see him relegated. No offense, West Ham fans, just don't like you. They're playing well, and you know, I feel like Spurs and Chelsea seem to have some sort of weird connection with each other, where they both like to not defend.
Yeah,
like the defense is it's just an atrocity.
Yeah,
I have to admit though, for some reason, Kane's playing like prime Gerrard, and I don't like it.
No,
he's playing like if Gerrard and Scholes had a love child.
It's really sad to see with Spurs with their defensive performances, because it's taken away with the brilliance of Son and Kane together. Like them two together, it's looking like one of the best partnerships we've seen in the modern era. Like honestly, it looks ridiculous this season. If they continue the way they are,
it's Ronaldo.
I said it before. I said it in a few episodes ago. If Kane continues the way he is, he's breaking Henry's record.
Oh, 100% now. The
100.
first pass to get the goal was absolutely phenomenal, man. Like it just cut West Ham,
Absolutely.
just sliced them up.
The first minute as well.
And he was unlucky not to score as well. He did get the goal, but he was unlucky not to. The one that hit the post was a bit unlucky. So he's just on fire, absolutely on fire.
Yeah,
but haha, Jose.
Haha, Jose, indeed. It just shows that you can't switch off. It doesn't matter how many goals you are in front. You can't switch off. But
that was his problem at United as well.
Yeah,
easily biggest issue at United.
It is very, very, very easy to switch off at the end of the game. But as soon as the opponent scores, it's very difficult to switch on again.
I think we all saw a 3-3 coming when Sanchez knocked the ball into his own net. I just didn't think it would be that sort of goal. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah.
Spurs were pinned in. I was expecting a scrappy corner kick goal maybe. But no, Lanzini. Oh my God. That's one of those shots you do in like FIFA when it's nearing the end of the game and you think, I can't get past this defence. I'm just going to hit it. But you don't expect
I do goals like that in FIFA.
Honestly. What
the honesty is unreal there, Adam.
It is. Unfortunately, after such an exciting match, we've got two pretty boring ones. We've got
we've got to end it now.
West Brom 0, Burnley 0. Another two teams who are at the bottom of the league.
It was just a dead game.
It was. It's just another two teams. I think
nothing
the bottom
happened.
4 that we've currently got, it just seems like it's going to be the bottom 4 come the end of the season. I think Nick Pope isn't enough to rescue Burnley.
No, but he did well. He did well for Burnley, I think.
He did. He got man of the match.
He played well. I just think there's a thing, right, where if you're paying £15.95 to watch that game, then ha on you, because that was an atrocious decision.
Don't even get me started on the deal that Premier League have done with that. They've also tried to throw shade at Sky Sports and BT, saying, "Oh, it's not us, it's them. Blame them." And it's like, no, it's you. You just don't have the balls to admit it. But if you're one of those mugs who pay £14.95 per game, get a life, please. Honestly, don't do it. I'm not trying to offend anyone. Just don't do it. You're endorsing. You're endorsing billionaires, and you're paying it to watch a 0-0 game between West Brom and Burnley. Like, if you live in Canada, you can pay $7.99 a month, and you get all sports streaming every single game: UFC, football, rugby, cricket. Honestly, everything for $7.99 a month, and we have to pay £15 per match. Just doesn't make any sense. We're absolute mugs. Yeah, Leeds 0, Wolves 1. Scrappy goal, 1-0.
I felt bad for Leeds, VAR striking everyone out, isn't it? It feels like that VAR, it doesn't care who you are, it's coming for you.
To be fair, it should be the way it is. There shouldn't be any bias involved. But the referee...
it should always be biased involved.
I just don't understand why the referee can't just take... it should be 70% ref, 30% VAR. Not even that, to be fair. VAR should be advising the referee, saying, "Oh, we've seen something. It might be worth taking a look at." Could be one of those things. But I was speaking to my dad about it the other day after the Merseyside derby, and he gave a pretty good analysis of what he thinks VAR should be. I'm not going to read it out, but I'm just going to put a little picture of it just there, just to see what you guys think about it.
There.
Down in the bottom corner, just there. I get VAR. I get that it's new technology. Everyone wants to use the new technology and everything, but that doesn't mean you have to forget everything else that you have used in football. Just because I
liked how he used it at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
I thought it was all right at the beginning of the season when refs were going to monitors and actually checking, and I don't know, it just feels like it's going slowly back into the power of the one behind the glass. I
think it's because everyone was slating the refs because the monitors are there and they're not using them. And then they kind of just went, okay, we hear your complaints. We're going to go check the monitors for one match. Then we're going to revert back to what we normally did so you guys can stop moaning. Yeah. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense. Honestly, when they look at the monitors, they give the right decision because the referees on the field are better than the referees in VAR. So
true that.
If you're not going to have professional referees in the VAR box, what's the point of having it? If you don't have people who actually know the rules, what's the point?
Well, you're not wrong.
Well, that's all the matches for this game week. All of them so far. We can go through
It's been a pretty disappointing week in all seriousness. It hasn't
has
been
been,
anything
yeah.
really exciting. A lot of controversial
Yeah.
topics, but nothing like, wow.
Mm.
Wait, I want to do a prediction for the PSG game. So when we go to talk about PSG in the Champions League, I want to see if I'm right or wrong. I believe it's going to be 3-1 United. Go on, glory, glory, Man United!
I don't care what the score is, as long as Pogba gets booked, Neymar scores, so my bet can win.
Oh, your bet Pogba's on the bench.
Who is?
7-0 for the Bants.
Pogba's on the bench, mate.
You can get booked on the bench. Just swear at the ref. That was it for episode 4 of the Ball Boys. Make sure you join us for episode 5 after the Champions League fixtures. That should be going up possibly on the weekend. So this was the roundup of the Premier League fixtures. We'll be doing another one next week as well. So that'll be episode 6. I hope to see you there. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification to be notified whenever I upload. And I'll see you all guys in the next video.
See ya, boys!